It's time to mind your business with me, Jamillah Lodge. Tune in to find out how to mind your business with BEDC, special guest entrepreneurs, industry experts, and more. Brought to you by BEDC. Bermuda Business starts here. Welcome to Mind Your Business. I'm your host, Jamillah Lodge, and you are our special guest today, Azia Parris, owner of the Sipping Lab. So welcome to Mind Your Business.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So we're going to start with just giving you an opportunity to kind of introduce yourself, tell me a little about yourself. So go ahead.
Okay, well, my name is Azia. I'm a mom to two little girls. That probably light up my life the most.
Aww.
And outside of that, I'm also a professional mixologist. So I work over at Cambridge at the Sunken Harbor Club, and I also am the owner of the Sipping Lab.
Yes. So with regard to the Sipping Lab, what made you decide to start your own business?
Well, it started out, my little cousin messaged me and she's like, Azia, can you do this? And it was a clip of like a cocktail class that someone had done at home. And I was like, I can do that actually. So I started to research more into it. And then I started to think, wow, I can actually do more than just do this for your birthday. I can do this like maybe as a business. So I started to like talk to people and I'm just like, I'm thinking about doing this little thing. And I had one friend and he was like, okay, you need a business plan, you need a runway, you need this, you need that. I'm like, okay, I'm overwhelmed. He's like, okay, I will email you a document. And it was an outline, like a business outline template, I guess.
Okay.
And so with that, I just started to research and plug into that and answer it in detail. And I was like, oh, okay, I can definitely do this. So it started off as just a little nudge from my cousin that's now bloomed into something bigger.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So from the entrepreneurship perspective, did you ever, like as you were growing up, consider having your own business? Was that something that you always wanted to do?
Definitely.
Okay.
I think I've tried a couple times. I tried to do like a online vintage store. I started to work on like a maternity store, and I never really pushed forward with it. There was always some obstacle in the way, and I was just like, okay, I'll try again later.
Yeah.
But with this, I guess because I already do this every day, it was natural. I was like, okay, I can do this. It's not scary. I'll start small.
Yeah.
And I'll just keep pushing. I'll keep going forward.
Yeah,
So,
I love that.
Yeah.
So you always had an entrepreneurial spirit then.
Yeah, like as a kid, I was selling lollipops at one point, or like going around with my little receipt book to all the people in my mom's office, like, do you need me to run any errands? From a child.
I love it.
So, yeah.
I love it. Was there anyone in your family maybe that you kind of modeled the idea of owning your own business after, or that was just in you from start? You know how some people like, are you born an entrepreneur? Can you learn it? It sounds to me like you were born to be doing this.
Maybe you just always wanted to like make money to buy snacks. Like I
That
don't
was
know.
your motivation.
Gotta make a way. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me a little bit more about the Sipping Lab. So how did you come up with the name, and kind of what do you specialize in?
Okay, so the Sipping Lab I like to describe as a full-service mixology company. I guess literally in coming up with that like business plan, it's like I'm just throwing things at it, and I want it to be like, it's immersive, it's like science-y, quote unquote. So that's where the lab came from. I actually was gonna call it Sipping Lab Mixology, but I was like, okay, that's a mouthful. And then the Sipping Lab, it just kind of came to me. It was, I guess a gift from above. And I think I forgot the first part of the question.
No, I was just gonna say, like, what do you specialize in? So, mixology, yes, we got that part, but like, what kinds of are there special ingredients, or what do you do specifically that differentiates you from any other kind of business that does drinks?
Okay, so I think we're one of only a few on the island who do actual mixology classes. So that could be cocktails, mocktails, for pretty much anything from like a teeny range all the way up until. And then I also offer like bar setups, so that would be for like a baby shower or hopefully a wedding one day. That's a goal of mine. But I would say kind of what differentiates me maybe is my experience in the industry and just kind of having that je ne sais quoi. I wouldn't say that we're better than anyone, just different. We have a touch. I think each individual mixology company on the island has their own special touch. And I do have the skill of being able to create different syrups, so I can give a wide range.
Okay.
And then in addition, I think it's the connection that I offer my guests, like in terms of having several sit down or on the phone conversations with them where I get to know their vision, what do you like, what don't you like, and we can kind of build something unique. It doesn't have to be like from a set menu, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that does
so
make sense.
Maybe customization.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the word, right? Because when I think mixology, I'm thinking it's the separate ingredients that go in to make this beautiful, fabulous drink. So what drink are you most known for? Or like, what's your favorite to make? Or do you have one?
That's a funny question that I actually get all the time, like even at work. And I finally have an answer.
Okay.
Thankfully.
And you hear it here.
Yes. Exclusively here. So basically I say I think I'm pretty much good at making everything. So if you want a margarita, then I'll make a great margarita. If you want a mojito, like just over time practicing and refining, I think I've come to a place where I know what a good drink tastes like. So that's balance with sweetness and bitterness, and knowing when it's too sweet or it's too much of this, too much of that. And then also having that mental, consistent recipe book in my mind at all times. So I can't go as far to say that I'm famous for something, but I definitely think anyone who's been to my bar personally or been to one of my classes, they know you're going to get a good drink.
Yes.
So,
okay. Yeah. All right. So, I mean, I really like the idea that you are offering classes, because I think in our hearts of hearts, we all want to be mixologists, right? Yes. We have all the ingredients and you're doing this and you don't quite know why something doesn't taste like the drink you had when you were out, right? So I guess when you are taking people through that process, do you give them recipes, or is it something that you just got to taste and decide whether or not it's right, I should say?
So for the mixology class, the sit-down class that I do, it comes first, we start with a consultation to create the menu, like I mentioned earlier. And once we have that custom menu, I also get an idea of like your theme. So let's say you created an invite. I will take that invite and use that template to make a recipe card. So each individual class comes with a customized recipe card that is a keepsake for you and your guests. So everything's pre-measured as well. So it has the recipe where you can go back and you can recreate that at home. But when you're actually in the class with me, everything is pre-measured in little bottles. You have the fresh fruit on the table for garnish and everything. So there's no guesswork. You don't have to kind of wonder, because I've done all the hard work.
Yeah.
So really you're just like,
thank you.
Yeah, like maybe like a muddle here, a shake here, but you're really just pouring and
enjoying.
Yeah, it's like more of a relaxing process. It's not really like, I like to say that it's a recreational class, because it's not really for you to leave and say, yes, I know about balance in a cocktail. It's like, no, hopefully you've had a laugh. You've teased fun. Like you're teasing the person next to you, like, my cocktail's better than yours. You don't know what you're doing. Whole time everything's pre-measured.
They taste exactly the same.
Yeah, they're all the same. So then you also get that experience that you would get in the bar, in the class.
Right.
So yeah, you get a recipe.
So does that happen on site, or are you mobile? Do you go wherever you're needed? How does it work?
Yes, it's mobile.
Okay.
So currently we don't have a space. I would definitely love to eventually have a space where people could come, like a hub.
Yeah.
But right now we just come wherever. So that could be, it's been in a hotel room, backyard, poolside. We've kind of gone everywhere, on a boat.
Oh, how fun is that? Yeah. Okay. So you're currently in our Enterprise Bermuda Incubator program.
Yes.
My first question is like, what made you apply? And then how are you finding it? What's the experience been like for you thus far?
Well, my partner sent it to me. He was like, you need to apply to this. And I was like, I don't know, okay, I guess. So I pretty much I was at work one day and I told my coworker, like, okay, I need 5. I sat down in the back on my phone and I was just like, okay, okay, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to type it. And I just submitted it. It's like 11 o'clock at night. I've completely forgotten about it. And then a couple weeks later, I ended up getting the email to say, you're in. And I was like, damn, I actually forgot all about this. So I just jumped into it. And I was not even sure I was going to get in. I was like, I'll just do it and then put it out of my mind. But it's definitely been really exciting to be a part of it. Okay. And it feels good to be accepted into a program like that. It's like, okay, maybe what I'm doing is going well.
Yeah, yeah. I would imagine that because there are other entrepreneurs in the space, that you could bounce ideas off of each other. And I know sometimes people say, like, entrepreneurship can be lonely, right? Like, you're trying to figure it out. You're trying to do all the things. I know you mentioned you have a partner, which is great, because sometimes you can bounce ideas off of them. But in the absence of having a partner, sometimes it's nice to have those conversations with others who might be going through the same thing that you're going through. How do you find the engagement with the other entrepreneurs in the course?
I would say it's been awesome to make some new friends and just encourage each other. I would say that's like a big thing. We just recently came back from a trip to New York for the Fast Company Innovation Festival. That was terrible.
Yeah. You got it out.
Anyway, that was a really good bonding experience for us all, and it made us all just feel like we're in this together, you know, whatever that looks like. Some of us are at different stages. Some of us are just beginning or trying to pivot. So it's been really good and just inspiring to see everyone come out of their shells and come out of my shell myself. So it's been awesome.
Good. I'm glad to hear you say that, because I think for us at BDC, our goal really is to give you as the entrepreneur the opportunity to be the best entrepreneur that you can be. And sometimes when you have, you know, additional overhead or you don't have that person to talk to, that can be part of the challenge. Like you said, you tried to start a couple of other businesses before, and if you ran into a bump, you're like, never mind, I'll focus on that later. So removing those kind of barriers is what we're hoping to do through programming like that. So I'm glad that you're finding it useful. And then, of course, the trip to New York is an opportunity for you to see, like, what other people are doing and how they're doing it.
Yes.
So when you think about the Sipping Lab, right, and you think about it when it's, like, full-grown and the best kind of best version of it, what does that look like for you?
That's a scary question to answer.
Is it? Why?
I guess without saying too much, I did mention it would be amazing to have our own space and kind of be like a hub. When I first started envisioning the business, I had the idea of, like, not just recreational classes, but maybe some more serious classes as well. Something where people could come and get certified, or just kind of, I even had the idea of, like, the tasting room. If you think where people can just come, you know, they can have that immersive experience and then leave. Yeah. So I'm thinking, like, a hub for where you can just come and take, like, a 45-minute little gin class or something like that on a Wednesday afternoon, like just a place where people can come. That would be amazing. And then also I want to expand for sure into doing bigger events and just being more present in the Bermuda event scene. Okay. So those are our future goals, I guess.
Well, I'm sure you're going to achieve them, because I think that there's opportunity, right? For sure. People are looking for different experiences. They're looking for ways to enhance events that they already have. And I think that's a fun way to do it, because I'm thinking, like, you could have, like, a girls' night or something like that and have you come and teach us all how to create good drinks. Yes. And then we leave with a recipe card so we know how to do it going forward. But no, I think those are definitely achievable. Have you thought about maybe replicating this model outside of Bermuda?
I definitely have. Okay. That's something that's a little bit scary. Here we go again. But definitely I've thought about it. And I follow a lot of other companies overseas who are women owned and absolutely amazing, and they inspire me a lot. Okay. So it's definitely something that I've thought I can do in the States or in the UK or maybe anywhere else that I end up, even if it's something mobile where I eventually am able to get to a point where it's like, hey, I'm popping up in this area or collaborating with other creators. So yeah.
I mean, I love that, because for us, we're like, yes, it doesn't just have to be a local, business. You can expand outside of Bermuda, especially if you're doing something that's unique. Like you said, every mixologist has their own trait that makes their drink special or stand out from other people. So why can't other people experience that? And hopefully when you went to New York to the Innovation Festival, you saw how that could potentially be possible, right? You could be on that stage talking about your experience and sharing your gift with others. So in addition to being an entrepreneur, and like you said, you're working in this industry, what are some of the things as you've gone along this entrepreneurial journey that you've learned about yourself?
I've learned I'm nervous more often than I thought.
Yeah.
But that feels like such a personal question.
It is. But you know why I'm asking that question is because, believe it or not, you're not alone, right? There's somebody else out there that probably is nervous, but they're not doing anything, right? They're stuck there. And whereas you may be nervous, it's obvious that you can move past those nerves to kind of achieve whatever it is that you set your mind to. And that's kind of what we're hoping, like for people who are listening and who may see you, how can they move past the nerves to actually realizing what it is that they dream about? So you said you're nervous. You said you were nervous coming to speak to me. I can't tell. It looked good to me. So like, what else have you learned? To me, just from meeting you now, nerves is nothing. It's like, that's just something, but it's not a barrier, right? You push past that and move forward with what it is that you want to achieve. So I don't know. That's what I learned about you. Oh, what you learn about yourself?
I guess I would say that I've definitely learned that I'm talented. I'm talented at just putting together a vision that I didn't really know that I had that skill before. Like everything down to like the precision of the tools that I picked and how they look on the table and how I fold the napkins. Like I guess I already knew this through my career, but I learned that I can be a pretty meticulous person. And I also learned that I do have a little bit of a perseverance spirit or persevering spirit. Yeah. Just in continuing to push forward. Yeah. Because like I said, I've given up many times on many other dreams. So it's been encouraging to see myself like keep going, even when it's hard and even when I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna keep doing this or having to shuffle around with the kids or the job, like definitely resilient. And okay, I finally also have another answer, which is I am really good at thinking on my feet, because somehow you always forget something. It's to the point where I have dreams about forgetting things. But being able to be in that moment and not panic and take a deep breath and say, okay, like I'm on my way to my immersive class where my people are going to be blindfolded. We got like 40 minutes to get there and I forgot the blindfolds at home. What are we going to do? This is what we're going to do. Like, always having to be resilient and malleable and like
figure it out.
Keep going. Yes. Keep circling around.
Yeah.
It always works out. I guess that's another thing that not about myself, but about life in general or things in general. It always works out in the end.
And I think that's a good reminder for people, because sometimes people do get stuck. You know what I mean? They're like, oh my God, what am I going to do now? I don't have the blindfolds. That's it. I got to cancel the class. Yeah. It could be, you could take that approach, but I think, like you said, you've learned through how you've gone along this journey that no, there's always a solution, right? Entrepreneurs are problem solvers anyway. Right. And so I think that mindset you are able to nurture. So as you continue along this journey, it just almost becomes like second nature. You're like, nah, we're going to fix it. Nobody even knows that there was an issue, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So I think all of those things that you said about yourself, that you've learned about yourself, are great. Because, who would have ever thought, right? Your parents tell you that you're the best thing ever, but to know that about yourself or having learned that about yourself, I think is even better. And you can take these skills or these personality characteristics with you for the rest of your life. You're like, nah, I got it because I know I'm gonna figure it out.
It'll
right?
Work out.
Yeah, it's gonna work out.
Yeah,
I'm gonna make it work out.
Yeah. You have to.
You have to. Yeah. You really do. I would agree with you 100%. And sometimes it gets hard though.
Definitely.
So on that note, like, what has been probably the most challenging thing for you along this journey, and kind of how do you resolve it?
I would say consistency is the hardest thing, maybe for any entrepreneur, especially when things start to get a little bit harder. The consistency and also the juggle of it all, like juggling working a full-time job and being a parent and dealing with, having a family to take care of and all of the other things that you have to do in life, and also just existing can sometimes feel hard. Yes. So I would say it's just been a challenge to be consistent and continue to put my foot forward, but it's something that I've had to just keep doing and also keep coming back. Even like, let's say I didn't post on social media for 2 months because I was just so swamped with work and everything else, still coming back and saying, okay, we're here. Yeah. We're pushing. We're, we took a break, but we're back and we're going to keep going like nothing ever happened. So that's been the challenge. The challenge is being consistent, and the answer is being consistent, I guess.
That's how you resolve consistency.
Don't be afraid, I guess, for me, reminding myself. Yeah. And for maybe others who need to hear it. But don't be afraid to pause and start again. Don't be afraid or embarrassed. Like I said, I didn't post for 2 months. Or, I haven't done, or I haven't reached my goals for this month. That doesn't mean give up. It means just keep going. And maybe reset, maybe have to scale back, and that's okay too. But continue to be proud of yourself and look back at your growth from where you started. It's like, okay, 2 years ago I wasn't doing this. I was relying on only my job for income, but now I kind of have this extra little thing that always comes in handy. Yeah. So yeah.
Okay. Look, wise words from someone who's doing it. No, I think it's important for people to hear that, and it's important for you to tell yourself that, because you can't get down on yourself. You're like, well, I haven't posted for 2 months. Nobody's looking for me, so I'm not going to continue. But allowing the grace, right? Giving yourself that grace, because like you said, you got family, you got other people that you have to look after in addition to this business. So there has to be some balance, right? For sure. If not, you're the person running the business, so you need to be fully present to do it well. So when it comes to the running of the business, right, do you envision that you're going to be hiring people, that you will create an opportunity where you can sort of own the business, manage the business, but you may not be as intimately involved in the mixing of the products? Is that something that you envision, or do you always want to be right there mixing it up?
I would definitely say that I would love to see the business grow to that point. And especially for me to be able to be here and someone else to be there, and I can focus on other things and grow in other ways, for sure. It really does boil down to the volume that we're getting, whether it matches that, and then also training the people. Yeah. And I think that's the part that is tricky, because you want to ensure that they're getting the exact experience that you envision. So it does take time and effort to be able to kind of show someone the ropes all the way. But it's definitely something that I'm 100% open to and looking forward to eventually getting to that point. And hopefully we get people on our team who are, looking forward to growing with us in that way as well and becoming instructors.
Yeah. Yeah. I was going to say, when you mentioned your vision of having a center where you can do the trainings, I'm like, you have a captive market of potential other people that can work for the sipping lab, right?
For sure.
Delivering courses and all of that. So that's exciting.
Yeah.
So when you do those things, you have to come back and give us an update. Okay. So the next question is around that, and it's the team that you have that you work with, and how do you identify the people that you are going to share your vision and deliver the same kind of quality that you're known for? Like, how do you identify these people and make them part of your team?
I would say it's all trial and error. And as a small business, the reality is that you start off with your friends and your cousins and your auntie and your mama and like whoever else you can kind of reel in to come and help.
Yeah.
So I would say like I have a couple of my dearest friends who have stuck beside me, and they just show up when I need them. And then obviously you have the people who came to, and they did one event and for whatever reason they moved on, or it just wasn't the best vibe or whatever. But for the most part, we started off with a couple amazing girls and we're still with the same girls.
Okay.
So yeah, it's still small. I would say maybe that's a question that I'd be able to better answer once we do scale up.
Okay.
And be able to say, this is how we picked and this is our selection process. But I think right now the people who work with me selected me and they just happen to be amazing.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's great. I mean, that you can use that as a self-selection, basically. It's like every business, I would say, has a culture, right? Which is usually set by you as the entrepreneur. And so when you're identifying people, I would imagine they need to align with the culture, or they need to get it and be willing, to step up and be like, this is how we're serving. This is how the type of response we want to have from our clients. So if you can do it, okay, come on board. If not, then maybe, like you said, it's not for you. And like you said, it's trial and error. Sometimes you think you might find the right one, but it may not necessarily be the right one. Yeah. But I know that's a big deal for a lot of entrepreneurs and small business owners, is finding that right talent. You know what I mean? Because it can make or break your business, right?
It can be difficult. Like, I've definitely experienced where, for whatever reason, people aren't able to make it, like, at the last minute. And I completely understand as a mother and a human, but that can be really difficult to deal with when you're kind of like, okay, well, do I give them another shot? Or do they hate me? Like, I got this thing going on. I really needed you. Right. So it can definitely be hard. So I can only imagine for people who are even on a bigger scale, having to deal with just people in general. People can be great and people can be not so great. So it's a challenge. But it's definitely, when you're doing something cool and something great and people see your passion, they want to be a part of it. And I mean, I feel sorry for my friends. It's like they don't want to disappoint me. It's like, oh gosh. Like, just because they know that I'm just so passionate about this and my work and how that comes across, and very like I said earlier, I can be very meticulous. So they've had to learn, and not under fire or anything.
Right. She's like, do it right.
It's unspoken. Or else I might cut you off, but no. Just that natural, though. I know, like I said, if you're doing something great and people see the vision themselves, like you said, they're going to naturally just pick up and pay attention. And I even notice, like, the girls that work with me, one girl in particular, she uses some of the lingo that I use. And so then it's like an echo of me, and that's where I also start to see the vision of she can do this by herself once she's at that level within herself. And like, for example, for certain drinks that we make, I will tell the people, shake it until it's too cold to hold. And then you'll hear her echoing, shake until it's too cold to hold. And I don't even have to tell her that. Right. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is cool. And you know what? You can actually formalize that. So when you're ready, like as part of your kind of handbook, like when you're onboarding people and things like, it's those things to me that make the difference between just hiring an employee and bringing them in, right?
Definitely.
You know what I mean? Those little things that make it a personalized experience, and you can create like a playbook or manual, if you will, so that when you do get to the point where you're hiring people and they just, don't automatically have that vibe, you can say, no, look, this is how we do it here at the Sipping Lab. Okay, we say shake it until it's too cold.
Yes. That's something that I started working on.
Oh, great.
it is hard though to get all of that, and you can't just chat GPT this, because it has to come straight from you know, for them to get that full vibe. So it's something I'm working on, and in that process of scaling up, it's something I'm gonna have to finalize. So yeah, definitely I'm like down to every detail. It's like 10 pages, and I've only explained the introduction. It's
Lord.
like, when they come, hold the tray this way and always greet them with a smile. It's like,
all right,
I know it's a lot.
But no, that it makes a difference, right? It's the difference between doing it our way and just doing it anyway. And so the time you put in now is going to pay off big time once you finally get to that level. So I'm excited for you. I'm excited to see what it looks like on the other end when you realize some of those things that you want, like having your own space and that sort of thing. I can only imagine what that will be like for you. And I hope that you come back and let us know how it's going for you. So before we wrap up, I just want to give you an opportunity to share your thoughts on entrepreneurship to someone who might be considering it. What would you suggest? Would you tell them to do if they're unsure? Like, what would you say to them?
I would say to get clear on whatever it is that you want to do, whatever the idea is, sit down with it, maybe Google a business outline template and answer those questions of who are we, why do we do things this way, and then just go for it, really. I mean, some businesses can be very simple. It could be, the first thing coming to my mind is like a hair store. Yeah. Just go online and order the stuff and create the Instagram page, and just like, don't, obviously set goals, but don't be capped by your expectations of yourself. You're not going to go to school and the first time you get a C, you just say, okay, forget it. I'm out. You know what? I'm not qualified. I'm not cut out. That's it. Right. You go back and you study harder. Right. Like, don't be too hard on yourself. Just try. Just try. Like, if you want to go make body butters, you're not going to be Dove and Butterfly tomorrow. Right. You're not going to be Dove tomorrow. But if you just start small, like I said earlier, you, like, going back to the growth thing. 2 years ago, I wasn't doing this at all. A year ago, it looked completely different. I was just starting. And now this is a year later. Yeah. So I would say just go for it. And don't let anything stop you. Don't let yourself stop you. Also, keep your big ideas close. Because sometimes it could be that you tell your auntie that you love and she loves you, but auntie has been working at the post office since she was 21 and she's 50. So auntie doesn't really have that same thought process. And she's thinking, well, what if you fail and it's not going to go well? And, you know, well, that's not really the best. Like, who's really going to be into that? And then those doubts, those doubts will eat you alive, and it'll eat until you have no drive left. You're like, oh no, this is a bad idea. Why would I even consider this? Right. So definitely, like, keep it close to your chest. Do the research so that you can feel confident, not because it's homework. Well, it is homework, but it's for you to be able to sit down and say, okay, I'm going to start here, but this is where I know that I want to go. And then, like I said, don't let anything stop you. That's it.
No, I mean, I think what you said is important for people to understand, because you do sometimes, you, like I said, you want to have that person to bounce ideas off of, but some of them can be your biggest supporters while others can be your biggest detractors. And in scenarios like that, if you don't have a person, you got to find that person. It might not even be in Bermuda, right? You might have to go online and become part of a group, you know, just to see, okay, am I on the right track? What am I thinking? So I think that's a huge tip, right? For people to, when you're ready, you share your idea with those who you think can receive it and be part of you pushing forward and moving into making it a reality. For sure. So now let's tell people how to find you. So when they want to book, like, where should they be looking for the Sipping Lab? So right now we're pretty much solely on Instagram. Okay. At the Sipping Lab on Instagram. And if you go to that page, you can also find my WhatsApp or my email, which is thesippinglab@gmail.com. And you can reach me via WhatsApp, email, call me, whatever. Okay. Comment on my post. I'll message you if I have to. Yeah. Okay. And bookings for parties, events? Whatever. Pretty much
if it's mixology related, we will try to work something out, which is why I do a consultation call. It's like, okay, because I get a lot of DMs where it's like, oh, I want to do something for my birthday or for my friend's bridal shower or whatever it is, which we do a lot of bridal showers. But anyway, just shoot me a message and we can figure something out, whether it's like a setup or just welcome drinks or you want me to batch something for you and bottle it up and you serve it yourself, whatever it looks like. Yeah.
She got you. Asia got you.
Yep, just hit me up. We'll work something out.
I love that. Look, I really appreciate getting to know a little bit more about you. I've had a chance to sample some of your wonderful creations, and they're delicious.
Thank you.
So just keep doing what you're doing. Keep pushing forward. I get the sense that you will do just that. And when you're ready, come back and tell us about whatever new is out. But in the meantime, again, I just want to thank you for coming and minding your business with us. And remember, if you don't mind your business, who will?
Okay. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. Thanks for tuning in to Mind Your Business with me, your host, Jamillah Lodge. Tune in next week, Thursday at 4 p.m. because if you don't mind your business, who will? Mind Your Business is brought to you by BEDC. Bermuda Business starts here.